What's up, freaks and fiends? Welcome back to Deadsville. It's time for Horror Talk Tuesday Live with Ronin and Steph. I'm your host, Ronin James. I am veteran stuntman and director, producer, etc. now of Deadsville Productions. And my lovely co-host to my left, my partner in, what do we call this? Grime? Partner in grime. Miss Steph Infection. Yes. So, what are we watching today? What did we watch, Miss Steph Infection?
Well, we went and saw Evil Dead Rise. We the newest of the franchise, breaking out.
Yes, that's why we have our little Ash plushie here joining us for this episode.
Yeah, and had something that was prominent.
It'll pop up tomorrow, no doubt. So where can you see Evil Dead Rise, Miss Steph Infection? Stream. It's not streaming anywhere. It's playing in theaters. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the sound. We'll talk about it. But yeah, the sound design was amazing in this movie, and definitely makes it worth seeing in the theater. You're not going to get the same experience at home, even though you can have all your snacks and go to the bathroom and have a beer and do all that fun stuff, smoke some bong hits, whatever it is you do. Uh, you're not going to get that same feeling that you get in the theater with this one because the sound design really does play a lot into the tension building and the scares and everything with this one. It's definitely makes it worth seeing in the theater.
And I would say even more fun having a group full of people there that you don't know in the theater, seeing their reactions, kind of playing off their reactions. Usually you don't like people in the theaters with it's fun.
True. Well, yes, that's a fun fact, though. This wasn't supposed to be in theaters, was it?
No, it was supposed to originally go straight to HBO Max, which it was originally filmed for, and it did so well.
Yeah. Jesse says you're still quiet, so get on the microphone, please. Pretend it's a big knockwurst.
Hey.
Knockwurst.
I don't like knockwurst.
Whatever.
So, where was it?
It was.
Yeah, it was supposed to be streaming, but it did so well and tested so well that we put it in theaters. And we're going to start some people to further doing this.
Well, let's read the synopsis. Why don't you
Yeah,
do that? Read the synopsis for us, Miss Steph Infection.
all right. So if you're unfamiliar with this story, it's a reunion sponsored by the rise of flesh-possessive demons, thrusting them into a final battle close to bad luck as they face the most nightmarish version of family imaginable.
Well, yeah, it sounds pretty creepy. Jesse says he still can't hear you. Sounds like you're down the hall. And I don't know what to do about your microphone at this point. Turn it up as loud as it'll go.
That's as loud as it'll go.
And you're going to have to talk louder. I don't know. Scream at the people or something. Thank you.
Can you hear me any better? Jesse, let us know.
All right. Let's keep it moving. So everybody should be familiar with the Evil Dead franchise at this point. This is So I wasn't too clear. Is this a continuation of the 2013, or is this just starting all over? What was this?
Starting all over.
It's a reboot. It's another reboot.
Sam and his brother, they're all executive producers,
Right.
and there are plans after this. So it's kind of just in the realm of it's not really any of it. It's not a remake, and it's not. It's just if you live on the zoo, it's going to be a part of an entire kind of Evil Dead universe.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Nothing pressure
All right. Well, hopefully, with all of them on board producing it, it stays pretty true to what we've come to expect, the quality we expect from the Evil Dead franchise.
on that. Can I say that they're working on a Bible for future writers and directors?
That's good. A show Bible, yeah,
Yes.
to follow. Good, good. Let's see. Crazy fan theory. It's a standalone. Each book is different in each movie. Possibly. Possibly, Jesse. Possibly. Anyway. All right. Does Steph sound any louder to you guys now? Before we get to the trailer?
Any louder. Any louder. Do I sound louder?
So, real quick, before we get to the trailer, if you haven't seen it and you are familiar with the Evil Dead franchise, the original, well, the very first one was a straight horror movie. The second one added the horror comedy, slapstick elements that we've come to know and love, associated with Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi uh, from Evil Dead 2 and blank, uh, Army of
Army of
Darkness.
Darkness?
Yeah,
Yeah.
an Army of Darkness, which was very comedic, just with the horror elements in there. And then in 2013, that was more of a straightforward horror movie, touching on a lot of current topical social issues, I guess, with the girl in recovery. Um, and now this one is again a pretty much straightforward horror movie. We don't get slapstick or anything like that. We don't get the comedy or any of the, although there is some dark humor laughs in there, certain things that
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
talk about where,
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny, but it's not like what we've come to expect. And um, while I missed that, I guess, while I missed some of the comedic effects, the movie was still outstanding and excellent and a brilliant horror movie. I wanted to.
Completely. You don't even have to have any knowledge of the previous movies.
No, but it helps and makes it fun because
Yeah.
there are a lot of Easter eggs in there and
Yes.
a lot of things that we'll get to. But all right, let's jump to the trailer, and this should be working at this point. Here we go. Okay, I don't know what to tell you. Is anybody saying they can't hear it? Okay. I have sound going right here. I don't know what to do with the computer. I'm not worried about the computer. Yeah, that thing sucks. All right, we're back. It was the trailer for Evil Dead Rise. Even that gives me goosebumps watching some of it, remembering some of the scenes that were there. All right, did everybody hear the sound on that one? Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me, man? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Hmm. All right, well, according to everything I was looking at here, sound was going through. Sorry. Once again, it just doesn't work. I don't get it. I'm sure you've watched the trailer by now. And everybody's seen it, so we're just going to move on.
It was faint in the trailer, but I could hear it. Alright, maybe the volume is here.
I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, thanks for hanging through it. Our technical difficulties. Once again, we just can't get this shit worked out. We just can't fucking get it worked out. Yep. I had sound coming through my monitor from my board here, and the meters were bouncing like we were getting sound going out through the program and everything. So I don't know what the hell happened.
No, Gary, I tried to.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Well, so let's do our usual. Well, no, let's talk about our writer and director here, Lee Cronin. That's right. This is why we have a bulletin board. Trying to be legit. Oh, Lee Cronin is the director here. He had one other feature before this, I believe.
Yeah, Hole in the Ground.
Yeah, and that was a horror as well. And it looks like he's directed some TV shows, yeah, some shorts, TV series episodes here and there. Yeah, I mean.
He's Irish.
Okay.
Love the Irish.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's pretty crazy that they handed this off to the franchise off to a guy who's only has one previous director, like full length director credit to him.
Yeah,
What?
I think that maybe they enjoyed it and maybe they wanted, I don't know. This is just speculating, but they're all executive producers, so kind of have a say in what direction
That's was
they wanted somebody
to kind of mold a little bit, yeah, because there's a lot of Raimi-esque cinematography in here. I mean, it's very uh, very Raimi. A lot of it when you're watching it.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff.
Absolutely.
It's very reminiscent of the originals with the camera angles and camera movements and tight, uncomfortable close-ups.
The point of view, you know, another thing. Swim.
Yeah. So I guess they like this guy when he with his, I'll have to watch the Hole in the Ground.
Yeah.
See. Obviously, somebody. I mean, obviously Sam Raimi liked it, so it must be pretty good. Yeah. So Lee, what is it again? Blank. It's Lee Cronin, director and writer. All right. My laptop's also moving very slow because I have everything going on here as well. Dublin, Ireland. Let's talk about the cast. Let's talk about our lead actress. I'm sorry, she wouldn't be our lead actress. Our lead actress would be our protagonist, who is the sister, right?
Yeah, so I suppose you're the one that knows better. I would have called.
Well, Ellie is our poster girl, our poster demon,
Yeah.
our deadite.
Alyssa Sutherland. We know from different things. We know from the Vikings.
And I know her from a Shudder original called Blood Vessel. And if you haven't seen Blood Vessel, I highly recommend that one as well. You can stream it right now on Shudder and on Amazon Prime. They have the Shudder edition on there. You can watch a couple of the Shudder movies through Amazon Prime. Uh, yeah, that was a good. It was a good vampire movie set during World War II, and it's on all takes place on a boat.
Yeah, I kind of jumped in halfway through and a couple parts of it got me.
Yeah,
So it seemed good.
and she's really good in that, and she's got a great face for a demon.
She does. She absolutely does.
I mean, I guess that's a compliment. In this business, it's a compliment. You've got a great face for a demon.
Well, she has very sharp features.
Yes. Very thin, obviously, kind of drawn.
She is a Viking queen.
Yeah, I've never watched Vikings, so I'll have to
Yeah.
see a little bit of that at least. Because, yeah, I dug her in this. She was great. I mean, she fucking was great in this. Um,
Yeah, really
I mean,
good.
and she's fine as the mom, but once she gets possessed, man, whoo, next level.
She had no accent in this, but
We're cutting out again for a second here, and it goes to black and green when we do that. Yeah. Sorry, we cut out for a second there. Picking it back up.
oh, Australia.
She's Australian. Okay. She plays British in Blood Vessel, and she's American in this.
No, this isn't the Vikings. So,
All
so
right.
then
So
Beth
that
is
was
like his sister, Lily
yeah,
Sullivan.
yeah. Lily Sullivan plays Beth, and yeah, she's
Yeah.
the sister, the kind of she's like a guitar tech, and she lives like the party lifestyle, while and the other sister has like the family life with the three kids. So, yeah, and we don't want to give any spoilers away with her situation, but yeah, she's kind of reconnecting, and that's who we're really following. That's our main protagonist, because obviously Ellie can't be our hero when she's turned into a demon.
Yeah.
The kids are all really good in this.
Yeah. Gabrielle Eccles is really impressive as Squidger. Morgan Davies is Stanley, and Mel Fisher plays Cassie.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess the boy is the only one. The DJ boy, I wanted to slap him,
Mm-hmm.
man.
Yeah, you wanted to slap him, and the whole time I'm looking at him going, I would do this. I would go down into the sinkhole.
No spoilers yet.
All
Don't give
right.
the spoilers yet.
Thanks for stopping me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would have done everything he did.
Well, yeah, I just he just kind of irked me right from the beginning. I was like, this kid rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
But the the other sisters were okay enough, I guess. I'm not a fan of kids in general, but
This isn't really a spoiler, but the little girl in the beginning cutting off the head.
oh yeah. When she was playing, yeah. um, yeah, and then I mean they had a whole cast too of some other. I mean that's mainly your cast. There's a couple
Yeah,
other people in there.
we don't have to focus on anyone else really. There's some good cut. Everyone, I would say, as a whole, was really impressive. Like I didn't pinpoint anyone as like a bad actor.
No, the whole cast very good, very convincing. Yes, Alyssa Sutherland though, when she turns on the Deadite, man, it's next level. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right, we did that. So let's jump to our first take now and just
All right,
give
so
our. Yeah. Don't give any spoilers, but go ahead. You go first. Ladies first.
all right, so overall, I just have to say, and I said this as soon as we left, I think, the scariest movie I've ever seen. And I'm going to go there because I cannot, we're so, there's been too much thrown at us. And overall, this movie was great. It was fast paced. It literally didn't give me a chance to breathe. It kept me going. I was hiding in my chair, covering my ears. I didn't want to hear anything. Squinting my eyes, and it was just nonstop. Once it got going, nonstop, it was great. And overall, I think it's like the best in a long time.
And you would recommend it, obviously.
Obviously, it was the best, the scariest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna highly recommend it as well, and say get your ass to the theater and see it because it's probably the best straight horror movie in the last 10 years, and it doesn't rely on cheap jump scares to
Mm-hmm.
try and get you. It's
Exactly.
like genuinely fucking creepy, genuinely unnerving, I guess would be the word. It's yeah, yeah, there's a lot to take in the what's the runtime, like 90 minutes.
Yeah,
It's about that
I'd say,
around here.
yeah,
But
sometime on.
it's a lot. It's a lot to take in, and but it's pretty glorious for a modern horror movie when we get you know all kinds of cliches and tropes thrown at us all left and right, and you kind of predict how everything's going to go because everything's kind of cookie cutter and by the book, and
They usually
every
predict for me.
and every movie's got the cat that jumps out of nowhere, of course, or
Yes.
something that shut the door and the friend is there. Oh, I didn't mean to scare you. Oh, come on, man. We've seen it a million times. Well, this doesn't do any of that shit. Thankfully, it does uh, tension building, suspense, uh, and yeah, just downright uncomfortableness.
I just remember, a movie that was so fast paced and kept me kind of involved with that, like taking a break and setting up a new kind of, scene and then starting over and then there's a scare down at the end of that scene and I can't remember another time where.
Well, I think a lot of it had to do with this is all taking place in a high rise in a high rise building, really mostly on the one floor, um, mostly in the one apartment. I mean, once the everything kind of the shit hits the fan, kind of everything's kind of taking place just in that one spot.
Mm-hmm.
There's a uh, I won't get there. I won't go there yet. But there's been a couple other movies where we've had like the high rise kind of you know possession or demons kind of thing. Demons 1 and 2 come to mind. Well, Demons 2 is in a high rise. Uh, what is it? Wreck 2, I think. Wreck 2, Record Wreck 2 that was a high rise. Quarantine, one of them.
Quarantine.
Quarantine 1 or 2. That was a high rise. There've been a bunch, and they usually, if you do them right, they can be really like really tense, really kinetic, energy wise, because you're in such a tight space.
And it's a long way down, so anything can happen.
Yeah.
And you always feel like you're trapped when you're kind of falling. So, it scare me.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a fan of heights either, but I've worked with them. Just
Mm-hmm.
got to do it sometimes to get that paycheck.
You start jumping out buildings on you.
I will if we have an airbag. Sure, it's fun. All right. Well, yeah. So, yeah, both of us recommended for our first take, and again, the sound design plays a huge part in a lot of the scares and a lot of the impact of the movie. So, definitely worth seeing in the theaters.
Yes, totally agree. And this theater, you should start getting your full collection.
All right. I'll let Miss Steph Infection take over.
Okay, so I'm just going to read a little bit. Um, Jerry Watts, Ronin. Jesse says, I'm surprised how much I like the kids, and I am the only one who's got the son look like Machine Gun Kelly. No, you were completely correct in that. Maybe that's why he knew this one didn't. No, he was good. I actually, when I first saw, I was like, that little girl and him have to be related. They just, there's like one one part where they were talking, and like, they look like they are definitely have the same name. So, you know, just really good casting. They look like they have the same names. Um, yeah, that's the I also needed a dance idea for that game. I will say this just while I'm talking to Mr. Jesse Zeter right now, he's in the hall. After I had asked you, hey, do you know any of the original trilogy or remake or streaming anywhere? I was like, oh my god, I have them. But I never watch DVDs anymore. Can't find it because I moved boxes around. I text him and I'm like, I'm thinking of like the first one that actually came in the,
Oh, we cut for you. I think we cut out for a second.
is there sound going too?
I don't know if our sound cuts when it does this. We went to green. Give it a second to come back. And we're back. This is my shitty laptop, my shitty refurbished laptop I gotta replace.
Get it all set up. But I text Ryan and say, wait, do you use my Necronomicon at the studio? And he's like, I have never seen this. What are you talking about? And but I will find it tomorrow. That's right.
Oh yeah, it'll totally show up tomorrow. Well, our poll is up, and it's pretty easy. We're not going to go crazy here. Which is your favorite Evil Dead installment? We're going to leave Army of Darkness out because it's technically just Army of Darkness. It's not Evil Dead, and they only let us put 4 choices up here on the poll, so we're going to go original Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, cutting out again. Give us a second. There we go. It's coming back. There we go. Okay, as I was saying, which is your favorite Evil Dead installment? Evil Dead OG, Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, Evil Dead 2013, the reboot, or the new Evil Dead Rise?
I heard that they weren't really calling 2013 a reboot or a sequel, but then it kind of was both. There were so many parts of that movie that they were word for word, coming from the original, but then there was new things and they wanted to get rid of that. It was that one was kind of back and forth also.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and there was some Easter eggs in there as well that kind of made you ask, is this a, what is this actually? So I think the lines have been blurred with reboots and reimaginings and all that stuff. So we're just getting different versions at this point. But it's still Evil Dead, and it's still high quality. I mean, they haven't made a bad movie yet. Even the series I loved. Ash versus the Evil Dead was amazing.
Never finished it. Started it.
Oh my God! I just gotta throw you out of the booth at this point. Jesus Christ!
I'm busy. When I forget about things, and I start something new.
Well, if you didn't or did watch Ash versus Evil Dead, the series, he had a daughter, and she was to originally take over the mantle at the end of the show and become the next hero, Deadite killing hero, following her father's footsteps. But I guess that's not to be at this point since they canceled the series, and this is the direction that's going in.
Yeah, not the bigger
I mean, they could always bring that actress in to. She just shows up in the middle of a Deadite fight.
Anything's possible.
The show was pretty campy, though. I don't know if they would mix that in.
I like that we had. It just felt completely like an Evil Dead movie. Like it was not something new.
Yeah, yeah. Again, I think because of the cinematography and the Um, the choice of shots and the uncomfortableness and the over the top blood and
Mhm.
yeah, the foul mouthed demons.
Yeah.
I mean, you even well, I guess we should wait until we get to the spoilers for
Well,
that. So
speaking of non-spoiler things, we can say that we started to say earlier that Campbell said that Sam and his brother and him are creating a Bible to kind of film future Evil Dead movies, and he said, "I can say with certainty that we will have these within the next 2 to 3 years versus 10 years." Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
yeah, yeah,
Kind of,
for sure.
yeah,
Well, and also there's been a lot of talk of Bruce Campbell voicing an animated Ash, which would be amazing. That would be the perfect way because he physically, I mean, he's an older guy now, and you saw he was, even in Ash vs. the Evil Dead, they made that one of the running jokes. He's not in shape anymore. He can't. He
yeah,
can't be running around fighting deadites anymore the way he used to. So, but he could voice his cartoon self running
mm-hmm.
around fighting deadites for plenty more years. So that's something to look forward to if it comes to fruition. How's our poll looking? Who we got?
Well, we have 4 votes.
Evil Dead 2
Evil
is
Dead
in the
2.
lead, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I also agree with that.
We're cutting out here again, so give it a second. This is brutal.
Hey guys, here's where it goes wrong.
There we go. We're back. Another cutout. All right. Well, the poll is up, and we've done all our non-spoilery stuff, and we're at 35 minutes, so it's
Yeah.
officially time to lift the spoiler ban, and we can start digging deeper,
Ooh,
everybody.
let's dig deeper.
Yeah, Jerry, I agree. Bruce will always be the GOAT. So I would probably lean towards Evil Dead 2 myself because that was like the role that defined the movie. It
Mm-hmm.
defined the character. It set. I mean, in a lot of ways, it probably set the standard for many horror comedies to come after it.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
I like the comedy side, but so we're kind of thinking horror, this
oh yeah, if we're just talking
animals.
one that just scared the shit out of me, if that's all we're talking about, I mean, the newest one probably is well, definitely the scarier of all of them, probably the scariest. That first one was pretty fucking freaky when I saw it, but I was young and there was nothing like that at the time either.
Yeah,
Done on no budget
but
too.
it's okay to keep tapping yourself too. So that's why I wait for the new ones.
Yeah, I totally get it. I
Yeah.
totally get it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's talk about this thing and dig in deeper here. Let's talk about the opening scene
Oh, yeah.
because it's just you get this opening and it's like a
A guy and a girl. No, I'm sorry. It
well,
was a drone view.
right, yeah, the drone and it's like a cold opening of a some kids partying and at a lake and it's in the woods like a typical
One's reading a book. One's
okay well they're there at a party but
some people didn't show up. We get to know that later.
yeah
The birthday girl or the guest of honor is not feeling well.
right
Her obnoxious boyfriend says, "Oh, I gave her, I don't know, chloroquine or something like that," and
so fall asleep
maybe
yeah
Xanax. I don't know, one of those things. I don't know what's got into her. He
yeah
even says that line.
yeah and that's all but I was leaning more towards the whole idea that this thing started in the woods like a classic
Oh yeah.
like that we start on a lake in the woods at a cabin and you're like oh well, yeah this feels very familiar
Yeah.
for an Evil Dead movie uh,
Take it to the
but this is called Evil Dead Rise. What's going on here? So we have that, and that was cool because it was like the totally different than what you expect at in the trailer, but totally familiar to what we've come to expect from the Evil Dead. But it was just like a setup,
yeah.
it was like this bookended setup, this bookended scene, and then the end scene, and they
Yeah.
and yeah, they tie together. That was
And when they do, I was like, holy shit! That's fun. I will get
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. Jumping a little ahead, but yes, it was
Yeah.
cool. Yes, and probably that opening scene. I mean, it's just so we get our first deadite, first taste of our deadite in there with the girl with her back
Mhm.
turned and reading the passages, very reminiscent of. Uh, and these are some of the Easter eggs that we can point out, but you get them right off the bat, right at the beginning. She's reading the passages of the book that the girl's reading, the same way that in the original she starts reading off the cards while the girl's
Yeah.
trying
Yeah.
to you know psychic do the psychic card trick.
Yeah.
So
Magician.
so we got that Easter egg right there off the bat, and then of course she gets darker and darker as she's talking, and all hell breaks
I was always like,
loose.
Steph's favorite part, and she comes and then there's a big scene at the lake and at the dock, and then
Yeah,
oh
the scalp, man. Whoo, that was great. And then she walks out, and the guy's like, the scalp's off, and oh yeah,
oh yeah.
some great practical effects. Yeah, very, and again, that's very rainy, very Evil Dead. Just have it and show it. Don't, like we watch a lot of movies where they'll be like, oh, let that happen off camera, let that,
Oh
or don't
yeah.
show it, or just let them imagine. Nah, we
No,
show it.
they show it and they showed after, like how much you would bleed.
Yeah,
Walking from like from the cabin down the dock or crawling or whatever she was doing. And it was like very pretty. Coming from somebody in the medical profession, it was very realistic.
yeah.
What it looked like as soon as she scalped and the blood that will be dripping down from that dress. So yeah.
Yep. So then we get so she goes down to the guy, and
He's
he's
like,
like,
what's
"What the
wrong? And
f-
you know, what's going on? She grabs the gun that, puts it on her face and cuts it and falls into the lake.
Yeah, we're not talking about the scout girl now. We're
No,
talking about the
right,
possessed girl.
possessed girl.
Possessed girl. Right. And then,
Jessica.
yeah, and then she comes up, rises up out of the lake, right?
Well, there's, comes in after her, she
Oh,
comes in
yeah,
and
yeah,
all
yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff. But then, when she rises out of the water,
Yeah, and we get that title card. We get the Evil Dead Rise
oh my
title up
god,
over the horizon line, and then the way it's just like,
best opening title card I think I've ever seen.
yeah, yeah, that was
Seriously.
super fucking cool and ominous. It was just like you just knew. Look at you're like, man, we're in for some shit. We are in for some shit. We're in Evil Dead country, and we are in for some shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And especially after that opening scene, I mean, you got plenty of gratuitous blood and gore right off the bat. So, yeah, and then we jump to the high rise, and we get mom, and we get a picture of the family life.
Or no, I think we actually go to the sister in a different country.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, yeah,
okay.
yeah. We get the sister. Yeah, we get introduced to the sister. She's wrapping up a gig, right?
Yeah,
She's wrapping up a
she's
gig, and
well,
she's
let's
like,
say what she's doing in the bathroom. She's playing on stuff.
"Oh, that's right. Yeah, 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 yeah,
So
yeah,
that kind of ties in later, and I'm like, oh, here we go. That's a
yeah,
pregnant girl.
yep, yep, yep." She works
Same
as
here?
a she works as a guitar tech, and she's like obviously the party sister compared to Ellie, who we get later, and is more like the homemaker with the three kids.
Yeah,
So now the guitar tech party animal is Preggers.
yeah. Which we don't know yet, but we know.
Yeah, of course. Come on, man. This is Hollywood. Of course she's Preggers. It's never not Preggers. When have you ever seen a movie? Have you ever even seen
She is not taking me into that.
Woo! I'm glad I'm not Preggers. You'd never have that scene.
Well, not, no, that, that has happened.
I
But
okay,
she
maybe.
made no mistake. They don't even show anything. Like, and I'm like, oh, here we go. Okay. I didn't even have to see the stick. I just saw the put
Yeah, and you knew it was.
No.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
uh,
I wonder if, oh, you're right.
No, up to
He's
you.
thinking stuff.
I hear you over there.
I
Yes.
hear me too, but likes it.
I don't know. Just keep
All right,
going.
there we go.
Um,
So then she comes, we get our first little scare after the event scene where she knocks on the door, and the sister, who are successful, she says, go.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not even call, just sitting here the airport.
Well, we meet the sister first, right? She's dyeing her hair.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Kids are being
Kids are
kids. Oh, yeah,
kids.
the little one's cutting off the head of a doll,
Yep,
and
yep, yep. And we kind of get the layout of the apartment, and it's an old, uh, dirty, not dirty, but kind of like an old building, and it's very
oh, yeah,
just dark.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just a very like old brownstone kind of somber building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Perfect for a horror
yeah, absolutely,
movie.
absolutely. I mean, and I mean that's a. I mean, the original was in all in a cabin, so it makes sense to keep these. The only one that really went well, the series went pretty big because it was all over town. Um, but Army of Darkness went bigger scope. They
Yeah.
had a way bigger budget once they kind of got once Evil Dead blew up and Sam was given carte blanche. That one had a big budget, you know. But this one must have been. I don't know what the budget was on it, but it must
It
have.
was, they did just under 400,000.
Oh, no.
Oh, to create it. Yes. That's what I was
The budget for the whole movie. It should be on the IMDb page. Check
No,
it
no,
out.
no, the budget.
There's no way.
Hold on. Maybe. Okay, so the budget on the IMDb says
Yeah, that sounds more.
12
That's still pretty low for a Hollywood movie. 12. If it's 12 million, that's pretty low for a
and it
Hollywood movie.
made 24
It made 24 million,
million.
so it doubled its budget on the first weekend. If that's the case, box office budget estimated $12 million. Opening weekend, U.S. and Canada, 24 million. Worldwide, 44 million. So that is a success. That is a resounding success in Hollywood as far as movies go. And yeah, to be able to make that's like peanuts, $12 million. That's like a high end streaming movie. Like a high. That's like a good Netflix original. And have a budget like that. It looks amazing for $12 million, and to have all those practical effects and all that blood. And
Okay, this is
19 million now. Still under $20,000. They made a kick-ass horror movie that made a bunch of money at the box office. So that means, yeah, that means we'll get more of them, and we'll get more. Hopefully, we'll get more horror movies. We'll get more.
decent ones, not just throwaway ones.
Well, ones that have a budget behind them. That's what you need to do. Is because there are movies that are out here that are doing well, but these guys are doing independent movies, and
Yeah.
um, they're just riding on the fact that people love horror. I think if studios got back to putting money into horror the way they did in the 80s, and I mean, yeah, we had a lot of generic carbon copy horror movies, but we had a lot of great ones too. We just had um, more room, more experimentation. The studios were taking more chances on
Mm-hmm.
on horror in general.
I just think when I think of like recent, the last 10 years, it's like all bad remakes. Maybe not all, but there's all these remakes of old movies, and
Yeah, well, unfortunately, this is another remake, so this
but
isn't going to
this
help us get away from doing remakes.
no,
This is
no,
just
no,
going to.
no. But that's what I'm saying. That's all I can remember is like,
Oh God. Oh God, Pet Cemetery was awful. Uh, did we see that in the theater? Did I not walk out? I don't remember. I hated that movie so much. All right, well, so then we meet the mom and the kids, et cetera, et cetera. Sis comes to visit. Does the earthquake happen before Sis shows up or after Sis? So Sis shows up. We get the earthquake that. Remember why what? Yeah, I know that, but that was before or after the earthquake. Okay. Okay. And okay, so the earthquake happens while they're out for pizza. Yeah, it happens while they're out for pizza because she's freaking out. They drop. They're in. That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was really high when I saw it. So yeah, memory's not the greatest to begin with, and so, yeah, the yeah, well, like, it's like a crack. There's a crack in the foundation in the ground or whatever, and it leads to an old bank, an old vault. Yeah, I mean, hotels, I guess back in the day, did used to have vaults and stuff to keep their, guests. Could have been a hotel. Well, no, they're in it's a high rise apartment building, so yeah. Hmm. So yeah, it makes sense. There could be a bank vault under there. Um, Pretty coincidental. It cracks open, and the kid, all kind of, happens, and he knows how to open a giant. He knows that the kid weighs 65 pounds and can open a giant bank vault door. But well, I digress. I, what do you mean he's behind? Oh, the crack was in the wall, and he. Okay, the other side. Okay. While your pizza's getting cold. Jesus crucifix kind of dropping. Yeah, I guess that counts as a jump scare. I guess that was a bit of a jump scare there. But they didn't rely on the jump scares. Right. Yeah, yeah. He's a wannabe DJ, so that's that. We should probably mention that. So when he sees that, and this is another throwback. This is another Easter egg kind of call, shout out to the original, if you will. In the originals, they find a tape, reel to reel tape, and they play back, the doctor's incantation and everything on the tape, and that's how we That's how we unlocked the demons originally. So on this one, little DJ kid finds a vinyl, and
Which
then
apparently, here's a gift if you want to know, vinyls didn't even exist in 1923, but which they are dated. So, they had the shellac like 78s, but they didn't have 45s.
well, it might have been the shellac. Well,
I said it
could
could have
have
been
been.
reference, but I was reading a lot of people saying it wasn't. It was on the vinyl. So I wouldn't be able to tell that it wasn't wax. If it wasn't shellac, or it could have been, but people were saying it was 100% vinyl. So whatever it is, whatever. Who
So what
cares?
did they record with in 1923? What did they?
Well, the first electronic recording was in 1924. I
So
remember
they
that.
just missed it. Okay. All right. Well,
And it still was on
historical
wax. Right.
inaccuracies.
So late 60s, they got it all.
Fair
I'm
enough.
trying to remember my quick on soundtrack before that. 1924, I remember because before it was
Yeah.
and all that.
Well, I mean, maybe that's what they played it on, the gramophone. Did your gram have a gramophone?
Yeah. She did. She did not.
Mine either.
I want one. I'm gonna get one. Special lineup. We'll be jamming.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say, if that kid, are we on camera two? I'm on camera two. That kid had picked up a guitar instead of wanting to be a DJ, his family would still be alive today. Right? Yeah.
Don't listen to him, DJs. I love you.
Kids play real instruments. Don't sit there and wiki, 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 wiki. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, just saying. Guitar would have saved his family. Totally different movie. Why didn't his aunt get him a guitar? She's a guitar tech. Fuck. Yeah, being a groupie. Like her sister kept, man, if that wasn't some gaslighting shit, her sister would be like, and then that was a gaslighting ass demon. That motherfucker was like, she knew how to push buttons. That's like the the hallmark of deadites is they are ruthless when it comes to fucking gaslighting you.
Who's the original mother sucks what?
That's hell, yeah. Yeah, demons are gaslighters, I guess. The Exorcist did it. So, all right, so we got the kid. He plays the record, and of course, we hear. Yeah, yeah. I guess we can talk about that.
He tries to fire him, the teeth on the side, cuts himself, and a drop of blood and opens it up.
Of course.
Sister is like, push it away. Like, please put it back. And he says, I'll put it back in the morning. Not realizing that the violence that he's about to throw on and listen to awaken the book.
Yep. So there we go. That's the start of all hell breaking loose. Cutting out again here in a second. And now we're not back.
Well, no, we're delayed.
Now we're back on. Well, I like to just make sure when we cut out like that. Can't be too sure here because technology. But yeah, so then the record's played, the words are said, and we get the traditional point of view flying through the city streets, and it bursts through the doors, and just like the way it, takes Ash out at the end of his movie, it hits her, and launches her into the
elevator.
elevator.
But he also, there's points where it starts playing, and it's basically it's a bunch of priests that found this. They were trying to do research on the Book of the Dead, and you know, I don't know, I forget exactly what they said, but they said research in some way. So you hear like a congregation in the first one talking about it, and then the second one he puts on is this one priest saying, "Man, we messed up," and he is trying to take the needle off because it starts. They start, he's hearing the incantation before, this is before the demon flying through the street. Because that's after he kind of,
Yeah,
elects her.
yeah.
And there we go. And he doesn't play the third. There is a third, which comes out later.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we don't get anything on the third, at least not yet.
not yet.
All right, so come on, let's get to Ellie gets possessed, and
Yeah.
she gets well. Again, we're gonna get another nod, another Easter egg here because the elevator scene is the wires from the elevator are going to replace our tree,
Mm-hmm.
our
Which we've seen in multiple
yeah,
movies.
and
Yeah.
in every Evil Dead installment so far, we've had the tree, the notorious tree. We'll call it the tie-up scene because I know YouTube doesn't like certain words,
Like a vines. Yeah.
so we aren't going to
Yeah.
get we aren't going to describe it like we normally would. But yeah,
The B word?
yes,
So where are
yes,
you going with
yeah.
this?
You can't say that.
Oh.
So. So, but yeah, the wires, and we get a very familiar looking kind of hanging Ellie as she's turned
Mm-hmm.
or turning. And,
Familiar view.
yeah, so there was another Easter egg for us from the Raimi school.
Mm-hmm.
And then
She kind of starts having a guess.
yeah, she comes upstairs, and we get the close, uncomfortable view of the stove. Right, she turns the stove
Yeah.
on, just
There's two
slams the
eggs.
pot down, and just starts dropping eggs in the.
And all these eggs were like abortion eggs, by the way. Did you notice that?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
They
The
were
blood starts
all
popping up. Yeah, yeah.
actually, I didn't actually read that anywhere. I just
Mhm.
remembered it right now. But
And she's stirring it and
they
starts
were all
talking.
fertilized eggs. Crazy.
Yep. And then and what?
Oh, hold on, before we go on. Did you notice she had vines tattooed on the arms as a nod to the OG?
Yes, yeah.
Ah, didn't
I
see
did.
that.
I
Now
noticed.
on hindsight, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed the tattoos and the vines and all that. And she's a tattoo artist. I guess we should mention that as well. The tattoo gun and everything, right? She's
Oh,
that's her. That's the
yeah,
tattoo gun she's playing with.
yeah, I think it was just, yeah, I think it was things um, kind of like sewing at one point too. So I thought she was like adding things. Was
I
it
don't
an
know.
actual text?
It's an actual tattoo gun that she tries to go
Yeah.
into the girl's eye. It's a tattoo gun. So
Hmm.
I just assumed having those tattoos and stuff that she was
Yeah,
probably
maybe.
a tattoo
Yeah.
artist and
Yeah.
having it and working on a tattoo gun. And but yeah, I mean you could see the vines in the even on the
Very
poster
nice.
on her hand and stuff. Kind of
Mm-hmm.
vine work. She had it on her legs and stuff too.
Yeah.
Good catch though, Jesse. Yeah, I did not associate that with the tree scene
Right.
originally, but that is a good. Definitely, I definitely think that is a nod to it that they did on purpose.
Yeah. So we have her kind of acting crazy
Yeah, I love the fucking fly on the eyeball scene. Can we talk about the fly on the
well, let's
eyeball?
say she like dies, and then they have her in bed. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, and the fly's on the eyeball,
Yeah. Well, that was.
and then she blinks and the eyes
Like you've
begin.
never seen that before, the fly on the
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it on those old commercials for the feed the kid for
eyeball. Oh,
a cup of coffee.
stop!
Yeah.
Is that the first thing that pops into your head?
Yeah, man, those little kids had flies all on them
Oh
and
my
shit.
god!
And then you hear the voiceover. This little boy doesn't even have the strength to
Stop!
this fly off his eyeball because he has no food.
Oh, you are the worst. Now, what's the one with the animals? You probably would never make fun of that.
I would never make fun of the one with the animals. With
That's
Sarah
it.
McLachlan?
Sarah McLachlan, yes.
Never, but kids are fair game. Yep.
Oh,
All right.
the worst.
Yeah, the peephole scene. Jesse says the peephole scene was his favorite
Oh,
in the
yeah.
insane third act. Yeah, the
And
peephole scene where she's outside. I mean, there was some. I don't want to say that there's no comedy in this. There is some underlying. If you have a dark sense of humor, there is
it
a
was hard to
some.
find that. I mean, it was.
I laughed a couple times
Me
out
too,
loud.
but it was kind of like this morbid, like,
Yeah, like in the trailer when the girl, oh, mommy, you don't look good.
yeah, but
I
still,
just need a hug from you, honey.
yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Or what'd she say? Nothing a hug from you won't fix.
Yeah. Also,
That was
she
great.
ends up waking up from the dead in her
Yeah.
bedroom. And that's
Yeah, and all hell breaks loose. And we don't have to go through play by play the whole
crazy.
movie, but that's when we get into a lot of the craziness and we start getting our, yeah,
Yeah,
all
things
kinds of,
like different parts. And we may do all this out of order, but so we're talking about the people scene where she's eventually outside, and oh my god, when she kills the
she's
people,
running back and forth,
that
chasing.
was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
such
That's
a
so
great
awesome.
point of view. Just the people,
Yeah, yeah.
like a stuck camera on the people, and her,
Just,
body flying,
yeah, the
and then
back and
her
forth.
kind of walking back up, like, I didn't do anything. I'm just sad about your dad. And then she like pretends that the dad's there at one point and go on into the or unlocks or whatever.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like,
I
no,
know, I know.
no, you stupid child.
But you know what? Like, I don't know. She was young enough that you're like, I don't know.
I
Any
guess.
kid would be petrified of being parent like that.
Yeah, I guess. I guess. So so she goes full batshit. She's fucking climbing on the walls in the shower in
Yeah,
the
like
one
she
scene. That was
screams
great.
at
She
one point.
screamed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good.
Before that, when she's like, "Mommy's with the maggots,"
Oh
to
yeah.
the
Yeah.
kids, in the demonic voice, "Mommy's with the maggots."
Yeah.
To like a, how old do you think the youngest was? Like 8.
8 or 9, yeah. Yeah, it's 8.
Yeah, probably something. Yeah, that was vicious. She wasn't pulling no punches.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what else we
And
get?
then, well, she did this that we forgot. That then the one daughter, the oldest daughter,
Yeah,
gets possessed.
yeah. Well, she gets her with the tattoo gun on the face,
I
and
think
that's what kind of it starts. Just like with Ash, when the hand gets infected and you get the little splinter, and that's where it kind of.
what I started to notice was that they said, I don't know if anyone else did, I think I said it out loud to you, was once you saw a drop of blood from one of them, they were the next one to get possessed. Like, I mean, there was only a couple, but it seemed like it's kind of the order of things happening. They made a point to show us her movement, her going to like, turn to the cut and then
Yep,
getting possessed.
yep, yep.
And I thought that was really, really tough funny. They made a point to kind of watching it.
Yeah, how did he turn again?
I don't know, but it was really until they showed him that drop of blood from somebody. I was like, I don't know.
Well, the so yeah, then we get the first daughter turns first, and we get she has her back to them, and we get the glass chewing scene
Mm-hmm.
that I had to look away
Yes,
from.
you did.
I
Yeah.
can't watch that.
She
And
just chewing like a wine glass, kind of like,
and
and you can see the
swallowing it, and
shards
it's
going down
poking.
her throat.
Yeah, super extreme close up throat shot of the glass bulging through her
Oh,
skin, and yeah, it was fucking gnarly.
yeah. And you know, in my, the only thing in my head was like, I don't think it would poke through. But, like, she actually swallowed like a look through them,
Well, yeah, well, no, it wouldn't
I've
be.
had to glass some people's stuff, so it doesn't really show up. Anyway,
Imagine taking a shit afterwards.
mm,
Ouch.
let me tell you the other areas I usually X-ray that people put things in.
Let's not go there. I have enough wincing from this movie. I don't need real life stuff making me have nightmares now too.
Yeah.
uh,
All right, so she goes, oh God, now I'm getting all like backwards. At one point, uh, she kind of, she's dead, like they killed her, and they left her body out. Is it the brother that's like, kind of puts her in like a big suit body bag,
yeah, and don't they ask them why? And
just in case.
yeah, just
Guess what? That won't be in your body bag. It's up and down already,
yeah,
and you can see it in the back.
yeah. There was a couple. Those were a couple of the good scares with the
Oh my God, yeah.
background movement. It's always great when the character doesn't say it and you say it.
Really? Oh my God, I was one of those people like yelling like, no,
Yeah, yeah.
sweating.
Yep. Um, all right. What else we got? What other great scenes, gnarly scenes in there?
I just thought that the way they were speaking and the sounds and everything, like it just the screams, it just sounded so good. I was really scared. I'm trying to think of when the brother Toro's, um,
Another standout to me is the blood in the elevator, like
oh,
the shining scene.
yeah,
It was a good.
yeah, they finally, like, yeah. Well, that's at the end when the brother turns,
Yeah,
they're in the hallway, they're coming at the elevator, Jamesy and Jensen,
yeah, that was a great Easter egg too. When all the Dead by Dawn, when
mm-hmm.
all the people, all the neighbors that she killed start to get up, and they're all saying Dead by Dawn, Dead by
And
Dawn.
like turning into like into one entity.
Yeah, well that, and I'll tell you that was the only part of the movie that I didn't like,
Yeah.
and I just it was like I just felt it was unnecessary. What the hell just happened? Something just popped, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden I sound great. What
Mm-hmm.
the heck? All right, well,
Mine might sound up.
oh, is that what happened? Yeah, that must be the echoes coming from your mic over there.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's back on.
Okay.
I probably
Are you
haven't
on
charged it in
single?
a while.
Are you on single podcast?
Phone podcast.
Aren't you plugged in? You should be plugged in back here
Oh,
somewhere.
it's going.
Well, check back here because you should be plugged in. And you're not.
And I'm not. Look at
Big
that, people.
surprise. Plug it into your laptop. Sorry guys. So yeah, I was not a fan of the thing being in my Evil Dead. I thought it was kind of unnecessary to do all that.
Did they do anything like that in any other movie that I'm forgetting?
No,
Okay.
no, there was never like an amassing of bodies. That was like Slither did it.
Yeah.
I mean, there've been movies that have done that. There's
That's
always been
exactly what it
yeah, like Slither
imagined.
was the
Yeah.
first one that came to my mind, and the Thing, obviously.
Yeah.
Am I
So,
cutting out here? Hang on. I'm gonna get a new laptop, and then I'm gonna go office space on this one. And we're back.
that's it.
Yes,
You gotta get out of it. I'm sorry.
So yeah, I just wasn't a fan of the Thing slash Slither. I just felt that it was
I will
unnecessary.
say that it was a little odd, but if you really are going to infiltrate the world as demons in any way. Why would you be walking down the street like that? Like, what do you want to be? I don't know if you're,
I don't know.
what,
I think,
what's the point of the game? Like,
yeah, I don't even understand what it was trying to accomplish at that point. Like, it would have been better served to stay um, separated and spread out and spread
yeah,
its
that's kind
spread
of what
its
it's like.
disease all over the place instead of getting you know throwing
But
into
it was,
one ball and being easier to kill.
they did show sex in the book, so maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe it makes that demon that much more powerful or something. I'm sure
Maybe
there was a
if
stuff.
that's my only gripe of the movie though. I just didn't that didn't work for me.
Yeah,
Aside from that, up until that point, the movie was amazing. After that, it was great too. Once we got rid of that thing, and it was,
everything I agree with that.
I
Yeah,
just didn't.
I was like, what is happening? Is this going to turn into some big monster? And maybe this is actually the plan. Maybe there's more steps
Yeah,
in the book that we're missing.
maybe there's a giant deadite. They form Voltron deadite
But wouldn't
by
you wait
combining.
to form before? Maybe they needed to consume another soul. How many were there? There was a lot.
I don't know.
Eight, seven, or
I
maybe.
mean, they were trying to suck the rest of the kids and the rest of the family into themselves, so it would be easier if you gang rush them as
Yeah,
a dozen deadites
that's a
rather than one big
weird. Yeah,
with
yeah,
10 arms and 6 legs and
yeah. No, I agree.
that,
It was kind of that was the only like, what the hell is this? There was there was a reason for it. That might be a thing in history. I don't know.
yeah. Again, that was my one and only gripe. And aside from that, perfect movie, great horror movie.
Yeah,
Um,
and even that. So then we have at the end we have the tournaments where
we get the chainsaw, of course.
yeah,
Can't
yeah.
have an Evil Dead movie without a chainsaw.
Hmm.
So we get the chainsaw going, and
And she kept her hand.
yeah,
By the way, I needed to kept her hand.
yeah, cut the hand. That's good. Yeah, and she chainsaws the big blob. Right? Is that pretty much
Yep.
what happens?
Chainsaws blood
That's right. Yes,
and
and
then
pushes the blob into the wood chipper.
and then mommy's hand is the
Last
last
thing
thing.
that goes. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
And again that makes it all that much easier for her to dispose of the all the deadites in one swoop by just pushing them all into a wood chipper.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I said, my thing is like maybe that's like Godzilla
Deadite Zord. Yeah, right. 5 deadites form Vol deadite. Mm. Yeah, well, and also with the whole. I mean, I guess the other thing that it was okay. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but the whole her being pregnant thing, and I get what they were going for. Like at the beginning, she's like the rock star lifestyle, and she doesn't want the baby, and now through all this, that's her character arc. Like every character has to have a character arc, and right, and she's decided to keep it. Yes. So message. There's your morality
Well,
message for
I
you.
felt differently. Like, would have still been so different maybe without that.
Well,
That
that's what.
girl, it didn't have to be in it, but I kind of saw it as, was she this mother kind of, crazy on her family and she's the responsible one and her, that, like, her whole life's falling apart. And that didn't want to be around her. And that's really mine, so it was nice.
Yep. Now she's gonna keep her baby. Go keep the baby. Yeah. Yeah. Damn it, I had a character arc. Yeah, so that was a little hokey for me as well in there. Like I think that I just think that for me the story still would have worked without that. I think that they needed to shoehorn that in there just to make her character arc more obvious. Like I think you could have been the absentee aunt rock star who pops up once a year and gives presents or whatever, and now like through the
Oh
course
yeah.
of the movie could have just become more family oriented and more without having to play the I'm gonna get rid of it, I'm gonna keep it
Well, let's
morality play
speculate.
through.
Maybe this is, Josh had a daughter. Maybe, maybe this next child is going to be, a 3-year-old. That I don't
So
know.
so
Something.
so what you're saying is maybe Ash is who she slept with while she was touring,
Oh,
and this is like a this takes place 10 years before Ash versus Evil Dead, or
no,
something like
it's
that, or
not what I'm
20
saying.
years or something. No, it would be
Just in this new film series, maybe this child has meaning in the second, the second,
yeah.
the sequel of this one.
I mean that'd be a start to a pretty rough pregnancy, having to battle deadites, right? Wouldn't that? I mean that little girl's gonna need therapy for the rest of her life, right?
Maybe she's, maybe at one point where she says, "Oh, I'm gonna take your soul, both of your souls."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe
When
she
she
just took
smells it.
the baby soul, and it's like, and then they're gonna have a
Mm.
whole omen experience in the Evil
All right,
Dead.
I don't think the IPs are allowed to cross like that. I think,
Wow.
but
But it could be possessed.
it
Maybe
could
it's
be. It could be a possessed deadite baby.
I have a feeling you're wrong, but
It could
there
also
could be a young child in
be
that
the
film.
thing. It could be like another blob with six arms and two penises and 8 legs.
Two penises.
Okay, settle down.
All right, no more things and blobs.
Yes, please no more things and blobs in my Evil Dead. That'd be my one request. Do everything just like this movie. That's great, but just take out the thing blob. You could do without the thing. All right. Well, let's check our poll.
Check her phone, but then we still have to talk about that anyway.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Well, let's check the poll real quick.
All right. So it looks like we have 5 votes, and we have a tie for Evil Dead 2, Evil Dead remake in 2013, and then
So
one vote for Evil Dead
then,
Rise.
did you vote
That
on
was
it?
me for Evil Dead
Well,
Rise. Get
my
rid of
vote
Evil Dead.
is Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. So
So I
that
think we're gonna
is
have to
our
call it.
yeah, that's our winner
All right.
with a whopping 3 votes, right?
Eventually, we might have to vote on our own behalf
I
for
know.
enough people to
One day.
to make this poll.
All right.
Thanks for him to.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Which
And,
really
no, we've had like
maybe in and out.
yeah, some people come in and out. But yes, thanks for dealing with no sound again on the trailer and helping us work through more technical issues and
I'm gonna return this
stuff
mic
out.
and.
She's got to get a mic like this one, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was bouncing back from your mic.
Yeah.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I picked the other one that I bought too because it said it was good for this shit and it was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, read reviews more. This thing seems to be pretty good. Reviews were good for it. So. All right, let's talk about that ending scene. So,
All right, so I got very excited at that ending scene. So, the sister don't take it out, and then we have back in the what word ends in the parking garage. Kind of like probably living among her, like above her means. She's in a crappy apartment building, but she comes out looking all stylish with like some designer things on, and then we get into this one here that it's Jessica and Jessica and all her friends a birthday party, and she is FaceTiming her boyfriend, and oh my god, it's having so much fun. She goes to get into her car. She sees, I think the wood chipper. I don't think
The
anything
blood,
about
right?
it.
Isn't
Maybe
there?
the blood.
She's like the blood from the wood
She
chipping off the wood
notices
chipper or
and
something.
starts walking off, and then we get a scream, and then that, just like the end of the movie.
Oh, the POV.
Yeah, right down there.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
And then we, obviously, we put it together.
Yep, that's our girl in the bed who is not feeling well.
Mm-hmm.
There it is, our
Yeah.
bookend.
I love that.
Yeah, yeah. It's until it clicks, you're like, what the fuck is going on? Who the fuck is this? Because
Oh,
I won't lie,
this,
I didn't recognize her.
I didn't really recognize her, but I heard her on the phone, and she said, like, the first line is, oh, like, someone says, coming out, picking me up anyway, and I was like, oh my god, and I knew exactly where you were going with it.
Well, I think I didn't recognize her because you don't see her face.
Big hat.
If, well, even in the opening scene, she's her back's to you until she's already gone deadite. So she's already looking a little like.
Yeah.
By the time you see her for the first time, her face, you don't get to see what she looks like as a normal person. You only see her as a deadite.
Yeah.
So when she walks out of the
It was her talking about the cabin.
that's what it is. The dialogue is what kind of gives it away because you wouldn't know it by looking at her face. You wouldn't recognize her face just right off the bat like that.
And she said the friend's name, and we see the friend that she was like stamping in the beginning, like FaceTime, and it all kind of clicked. But it was whenever she said like so that was pretty cool. I liked it.
Yeah, that was a good.
Because I think in the beginning, I didn't really think anything of it. Them showing us a rainbow scene of some people that are usually getting possessed. Like I just was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't think anything of it, or that it. I was like, maybe that doesn't even have anything to do with the movie.
Well, and again, the setting is the woods and a cabin, so and that's the normal setting for an Evil Dead movie. So when it starts off and you see, and that's where you're in a very familiar setting for an Evil Dead film, and then that finishes that scene and it jumps to was it one day earlier? Excuse me, it says one day earlier, and then you jump to yeah, it says one day earlier, and then it says, and then it goes to the high rise. I kind of felt like, and I don't know if you felt this way, but I felt like we were going to get back to the woods at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I thought it was going to come up, but I forgot. Like, I not forgot about it, but I was like, oh, maybe that comes up later.
Yeah, like when they said, okay, one day earlier, I was like, okay, this is how, like they're going to gather here at the apartment. We're going to have a little bit here, but even because I didn't really watch the trailer, I avoided the trailer.
I didn't watch. I watched the very shorter version of not what was.
Yeah.
Not that people heard it, but that was like.
Yeah, there was a lot in that one. I'm glad I didn't watch that before.
It wouldn't have ruined it for me at all.
No, but there were scenes in there that I'm glad I saw for the first time in the theater. You know what I mean? There's certain stuff that was very impactful that they put in the trailer, which is, I get it, they want to tease and show some of the good stuff. Now, come back. What was I saying there? Back. After another cutout. Yeah, I don't even remember what I was talking about.
I never went back to the
Oh yeah. So I kind of expected it to not necessarily end there, like halfway through the movie. Like I expected. We started it at a cabin, so I expected it when we jumped to the high rise. I figured, oh, somebody's going to go on vacation here. Somebody's like we were going to get the people in the high rise going to the woods, and then all hell will break loose. You know what I mean? Like I almost felt like half of the movie was going to go back to the woods because they started in the woods, and they were like, oh, well, one day earlier. So I figured we were going to get back there and see.
This kind of brings up I know, and I'll say this after, what my idea for sequels would be a prequel, but what if they?
Hold that thought as we cut the fuck out again. Okay, go ahead.
Alright, and we're back. So, what if that, because she comes out of the water, they've got, you think they would go right into that in the movie? Whatever happens to that? Or maybe what happens in the woods for the second one, another family, like little friends, and she kind of goes knocks on another cabin door.
Yeah, I mean,
Who
it would
knows?
pick up from yeah. I would like to see it pick up from the because that's what I kind of thought. Like at some point, because when you get the time jumping thing, and sometimes they like to like start off. Excuse me. Sometimes I like to start off with like an action piece or a suspense piece, and then they take it back. But somewhere in the movie, you catch back up to where that piece took
Yes,
place, and
yes,
then you go further from where that piece took place,
yes, like if
and
they
you
get funny
finish.
movies, like
Right, so
the
that's
recent
kind of
years
what
have
I
been.
was expecting to happen, and we didn't get that. At the end, we got the beginning of our
Mm-hmm.
intro scene. So it would make sense that if we get something next, hopefully it picks up at the end of that, rise from the water scene, and I'd love to see what how it goes from there.
Yeah. I was saying earlier that I thought it was cool.
They're falling. Your headphones are falling forward.
I thought it would be kind of cool to do like a prequel with this like place and have it at dark and I like stuff like that. Like things and begins and you see it like I really think that. I think that would be cool.
Well, there's a bunch of ways they can go with it, and yeah, with a Bible being written by the producers and Bruce Campbell, that's it's a good sign. So high
Mm-hmm.
hopes for the Evil Dead to continue and get bigger and better budgets.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's wrap it up now. We've been going and talking about this one for an hour and a half. This is our longest show
It was about to go and I thought it was.
yet.
That was pretty long.
Thanks everybody for sticking around with us and jumping in and joining the poll and joining the live chat.
Yeah.
I have to cut this up a little better, maybe. I'll see how the sound is on it and maybe make it into the podcast. I could always just take the video and cut the trailer back in with the right sound, and,
I believe in you.
and then we can put it out there as a
I know you
podcast.
can do it.
Cut out some of the some of the excess here and get it to like an hour. All right. Well, what do you out of our five
Okay.
pentagrams or whatever we're given? You giving it five?
Now, I'm going to give it a 4.7.
We can do point sevens.
Yes, because
Oh,
I'm taking off point 0.3 for the.
that cut out. Hang on. Oh, and we're back.
So,
Yeah. Good.
I'm giving it a 4.7, he said, because the point 0.3 is for the thing, and I was really saying that, and whatever else I know. Couple of first, but it was so minuscule.
Yeah, I mean, mine was the pregnancy thing. I thought was unnecessary, but you're a mom, so I totally get how it would be more impactful, I guess.
But it didn't impact me in any way.
No,
The other things,
you didn't think it was a good motivator for her,
no, it was just,
for her
usually,
character to
because
grow.
usually it does kind of get me, and I'm like, oh, whatever, okay. And then I say that the confidence in it really, it's kind of, it seems like lack of confidence is the reason. So I can see that. But, I couldn't do anything for it if I didn't have the kids to die. Like, I just didn't, I didn't think about it. Whatever, it was whatever. Whatever.
Cutting out again. Hang on, let's get out of here. And I think we're back. All right. Jesse asked, "Did you catch the Bruce Campbell cameo and the Henrietta nod?"
I noticed Henrietta was the pizza place.
And they did the "Swallow Your Soul" line.
The
Swallow
Bruce
Your Soul.
Campbell cameo?
Yeah, I didn't notice Bruce. Where was Bruce? I did not see him in there.
I don't think.
Was he on the TV or something? That was. Jesse will check in a minute with it, I'm sure. But no, I did not. I missed the Bruce Campbell cameo.
Maybe I didn't. I don't think. No. Well, I need to see what he says.
I'm sure it's on the interwebs. Somebody else has seen it in there.
Yeah.
So I guess I would give this I guess a 4.5. I mean, it's going to be hard for me to give anything a 5, so this is probably, and I don't do point sevens.
Well, I was going to do 0.8. Well, okay, I'm going to go back and do 0.8.
Okay. All right.
You can do 0.7.
Oh, the recordings. He said it's called the Book of the Dead. Yeah, yeah, I did. I think I did remember hearing his voice in there, and I think there was.
Oh, like from the congregation.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I don't think I realized.
Subtle, very subtle. But yeah, I'm gonna go 4.5, which is probably the highest I'll rate anything. And I mean, it was close. Like if they wouldn't have done the fucking thing, I could have given it a 5. I could have let the pregnancy motivator slide, the stereotypical generic pregnancy motivator slide if they didn't do the thing. But yeah, the two of them together, yeah, it's a 4.5, which is still, yeah, the highest score I'll probably ever give. And we're back again. So yeah, 4.5 I give it. Definitely recommend. And again, I can't say enough. Go see it in the theater.
Yeah.
Help it make some more money so that we get more of these
Mm-hmm.
and more horrors in general.
You already have that happening, so.
And if you like the actress who plays Ellie, go check out Blood Vessel on Shudder. We'll have to do that one of these days. With the pizza box had Henrietta's face.
Oh,
it said, "Come get some." Yeah, the name I remember. Yeah, yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Definitely want to see more people seeing this thing in the theater. I don't think I've seen a bad review on it yet. Everybody's saying it's great. Everybody loves it. So, yeah, good stuff. All right, well, that's going to do it for us here at Horror Talk Tuesday Live in Deadsville. Yep. Yeah, and come back next week. I don't know what we'll do yet. But we have a couple things maybe we can choose from.
Yeah.
Maybe Blood Vessel. Maybe you'll go see Renfield and we can do that one. Nah, probably not. I'm gonna have to do the Renfield review with Jesse. I think Jesse will have to be my guest. We'll have to do a split. No, he and I will just have to do the phone split, stupid live together thing on Facebook, on YouTube, where I don't get to use any of my cool setup here.
Oh,
it's just my phone.
Cool setup
that never fucking works.
All right, well,
all right, guys.
Figure it out. Facebook and Instagram, what we're gonna talk about.
All right. Have a good night, freaks and fiends, and we'll see you next week.
How you doing? Why did I just do?
Huh?
As soon as I shut my mic off, I could hear Oh, my Bluetooth kicked in. I was like, how the fuck did that happen? Maybe that's what Bluetooth.
Yeah, that mic's got to go.